It's good to have you join us today on Health and Environment Insights. Today on the program, we'll be dealing with environmental pollution. I am Kemi Adeni. To discuss this topic today, we have the Director of Planning, Research and Strategy of Ondo State Waste Management Authority. He is Mr. Olajubu Adekunle. Mr. Adekunle, it's good to have you on the program today. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, presenters and listeners at home. Say good morning to you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
And so let's talk about environmental pollution and how we can deal with the challenges and provide some solutions to some of them. What exactly is environmental pollution? What are the main types that we have?
Environmental pollution, the simple definition to it is the introduction of harmful substances into the environment.
Okay.
You know, naturally, God has made the environment in a serene situation.
Yeah.
But due to human activities, we have the human existence begin to produce some substances that are harmful to the nature, to the environment, thereby making the environment polluted in such a way that is the God has created the environment in a way that whatever we do can accommodate. But when our activities to the environment now go beyond the environment to accommodate, to regulate, it becomes a pollution. So whatever the activities of a man that environment can no longer contain, that can no longer regulate, it becomes a pollution. And we have different types of pollution. We have air pollution, water pollution, and land pollution. And in some cases, in the developed world, we are now recognizing noise pollution and all those electrical energy pollution, as the case may be. So all these water pollution is when there are some substances introduced into the water body, never get its level to the underground water or surface water polluting the water. Where we have air pollution, releasing some substances like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, dust, whatever carbon smokes and thereabout into the air, thereby pollute the air. And we have land pollution, where we dump indiscriminately on the land, thereby polluting the land, make the land not useful for the purpose at which it was created. In some cases, like I said the other time, noise pollution, when there are noise, there are limits at which our audible system can accommodate noise or voice. But when it becoming unbearable to the body or to the environment, it becomes a pollution. That is the case of noise, where we have extremely sound system, bringing out church activities into a neighborhood. Those are the noise pollution we have.
I'd like to start with the noise pollution. I can take them in that order, but let's start with the noise pollution. There are places of worship that the sound coming out from those environments are quite disturbing. And I also have a very typical example of rat poison sellers around our communities who use the megaphone, and they make so much noise. What's your take on that?
Yes, actually we in a developed world. It wasn't so. Ideally, in every situation there are physical and urban planning settings. And when we plan our cities, there are places of residential, there are places for the industrial, there are places for commercial. So we are not expected to have place of worship even within the residential. Even if we have place of worship, there will be a regulation telling the place of worship the limits at which their noise will be coming out to the community. Like we have a limit at which, the way you can position your your loudspeaker, the time of programming. Maybe night vigil should not be conducted between the hours or so. That is the time people will be resting, sleeping.
Yes.
So there will be regulation about timing, about position of loudspeaker, or using of high efficient gadget for producing noise. So there are agencies. If we have such complaints in our neighborhood, there are agencies of government, Ministry of Environment, Ondo State Environmental Protection Agency, that are in charge of those situations. Whenever our viewers at home have such a complaint, they can link up with those officers in that agency. They will handle their matter, and it will be resolved.
I know that as the director of planning, research, and strategy, you must have policies and regulations in place that you will effectively handle some of these issues that you have mentioned. Do you have such policies and regulations in place?
Yes,
and are they effectively
in waste
enforced?
management?
Yes.
In waste management, we have our policy, because our activities to generate human activities produces waste. Waste is a component of substances released to the environment that pollute the environment, which is topic waste. So waste is a critical factor in pollutants, of a pollutant that pollutes the environment. Thereby, waste management is being established to look at those pollutants that can be reduced. That is why we are having Waste Management Authority to look at how we are managing the waste to reduce the effect of the pollutant on the environment. So in Waste Management Authority, we have several policies in place, such as containerization policy. That is, if we start generating waste, there is no doubt, as long as human exists,
we'll definitely
generate waste. But at the point of generation, we started managing the waste, thereby reduce the effect on the human and the environment. So the containerization is the number one policy. We want to roll out the policy that every household in Ondo State must get a container within their premises. If you are a shop owner or a residential houses, you must get a container, a dustbin, prescribed dustbin, where all waste generated within a day can be deposited and be covered. The dustbin must be air fitted with a cover that can not allow flies, rodents, and some other agents to enter in, so that it can transmit whatever. But if it is tight cover, it will be reduce the odor coming out from that place. So we are ensuring that dustbin production and usage within the community, within the household, is promoted by our agency. Yes, we are. Secondly, we are promoting waste source separation. We are trying to separate all those waste. Actually, some definition has come that absolutely there is no waste. All what you think is a waste to you is a raw material to another person. That's why we are having scavengers there and there looking for material in what you call waste. So thereby reduce the volume of waste. So we are promoting source separation. If you have your waste at your residential home, you will separate bottle from the organic material, organic waste. Definitely you have reduced the volume of waste that is to be carted away by the agent of government or waste management authority. Maybe the bottle have been separated in a separate container, looking for scavengers or those car pusher, looking for iron, PET bottle, rubbers, you give it to them. Even at it can be at the exchange, or it can be free of charge. But the remaining component that has no value to any other person, those are the ones that waste management can now come and pick. So the policy of source separation is another measure that we put in place to reduce the volume of waste going into into the environment, thereby polluting the environment.
Yeah.
And thirdly, we are promoting recycling.
Right.
Yes, turning those production, all those items that we think is not valuable to you, we turn it to another usage. Okay, we have 3 R in waste management: reuse, reduce, and recycle.
Okay.
So when you first of all reduce. Yes, when you first of all reduce, is this process of source separation.
Yeah, it reduces the quantity. All right.
The process of reused is when we are promoting more than one-time usage of any item, like bottles now. All these PET bottles.
Yes.
If you use it more than one, you will not need of going to purchase more nylon or more plastic bottles. So we are promoting more reuse system and recycling. Okay, or having used all these things, you turn it to another product that can be useful for another purpose.
All right. I know we're still going to return to this conversation. We'll go on a short break now. We'll go on a short break now. When we return, the conversation will continue. Stay with us. Joining us, this is Health and Environment Insights, and I've been having conversation with the Director of Planning, Strategy and Research of Ondo State Waste Management Authority, Mr. Adekunle Olajumo. And so let's return to our previous conversation. You were talking about recycling and reusing of PET bottles. Is that healthy enough, especially considering the reuse?
Yes, it is highly healthy. And it is being promoted.
To suit our public health?
Yes, it's being promoted all over the world. The act of reuse.
Yes.
Like take for instance a PET bottles of Coke.
Yes.
If you drink the content,
yes,
the empty bottle can be reused, not purposely for
that same product.
That product.
Something else.
It can be reused. Okay, take for instance those who are selling red oil.
Right. Palm oil.
Yes. They wash it,
clean it, and
sterilize it, and start using it for purpose of selling red oil, palm oil, or kerosene, or some other items. Even the reuse aspect cannot be for consumption purpose as well. It can be used for other cosmetics, for designing, for creativity, and so many other things. So reuse is not meant purpose for consumption.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it can be converted into other purposes that can serve even more than the purpose at which it was created.
Okay, let's take this conversation a step further by saying what policies do you have in place, especially for industries and for those engaging in transportation? We know that the soot of some of these vehicles are quite harmful to our health.
Yes.
And so handling that form of pollution, how do you deal with it?
Yes, in Waste Management Authority, we are not into transportation or air pollution. As I earlier said, the agency of government that is in charge of air pollution is Ministry of Environment.
Okay.
I learned Ministry of Environment and I outfit where they go out with their gadgets and testing all these emissions.
Okay, so that's to say that in your establishment, you only handle waste.
Waste.
Okay, so let me ask you, what plans do you have as a director of planning? What's your plan to improve what we have at the moment as the structure in waste collection?
Yes, you know, as I said, waste itself is a continuous exercise.
Process.
Generation management is a continuous. So we at Waste Management who know that and let see that the population growth is being increasing. So thereby the volume of waste coming out from this and due to urbanization and a lot of development coming up here and there, we are proactively coming aboard to strategize how we expand our tentacles by dividing Akure into so many zones to engage more PSP.
Okay.
That is number one policy, to engage more PSP, to comb all those areas where there have not been PSP or our agent to be collecting waste. So we are trying to promote investors, encouraging investors, new investors to come and invest in business of waste management, so that the era of waste littering the environment will come and come forever. And we are trying to encourage investors too to come and invest in this issue of recycling. Yes, there is a lot of economic advantage in the business. Yes, so we are encouraging as many as willing and they are buoyant enough to come and invest in this. If we invest and reduce this volume of waste management has be reduced to a certain percent, and the burden there has been reduced to a certain percent. So we encourage investors to come and invest in recycling, so that the number of waste going to dump site, where dump site management is an issue, will be reduced to none.
Okay, in this advent of improvement in technology, I put it to you, what plans do you have to strategically take us to the next level, especially in Ondo State, as regards waste collection and management?
Yes, the process of waste management all over the world is virtually all the same. You use machinery to collect waste from household, so it's the same thing we are doing here. But what we are trying to do different is to promote the frequency at which we collect those waste from the household, so that the effect of putting waste within the household will be taken away from the residential. And the use of technology. Yes, we are promoting what we call monitoring of our waste stream. When we digitalize all those working our collection equipment, we can be monitored from our office to be observing what they are doing in the field and how they operate the business in the field. So we are entering into digitalization of our equipment by inserting CCTV camera monitoring gadget to all those trucks, so that whenever we send them out on errand, we can be monitoring the activities via all these electronic means.
And just like you mentioned, the digital automation of how you monitor the trucks and their activities. I know there are defaulters. I'd like to say this too. There are technology-driven waste bins now.
Yes.
I know there are waste bins that have sensor chips on them, and so for instance, even if your waste is missing, you know where it is, because there is a chip attached to it, there is a number attached to it. When are we going to get to that stage in Ondo State? I look forward to having that in my village, for instance.
It's one of our dreams too. It's very soon.
I hope it's part of the plan and the pipeline.
Very soon. Technology is in process, it's in stages. So when we started, we'll be taking it stage by stage. But we are at the level at which we want every household within the state to have this dustbin. When achieve that, we move to the level of, okay, shipping in all those dustbin and give sensors and inspire sensors to them. So gradually we are moving to that stage too.
Okay, so what's your encouragement? Well, I know for instance we have the urban and the rural communities. In what way are you encouraging those who are defaulting? I know a lot of people still burn waste here in Ondo State. What's your word of encouragement to ensure that they enjoy better services?
Yes, from all is about the individuality. We have come here several times not to burn waste, but so even where the PSP, where our agents, waste management are still servicing, we still find some defaulters who are not key into the system. So that is why we are coming on here every now and then to educate to educate them about their habits of burning waste. Many of them don't know that all this waste, the components are some powerful chemicals. When they burn it, they release it into the atmosphere. Thereby all this air pollution that we are discussing today. But if we can win them through our advocacy, through our education, we can gain them to us. And there are other aspects too, which is called enforcement. Having used all means to pacify them, to woo them, if they fail, there are tools, government tools, legal tools that the agency will use that will enforce them to key into the system. So in the area of rural and urban setting, yes, we have not really captured the entire of those states. I must be fair with you, but we have the plan in place that when we conquer the urban setting, we are planning for the rural area, even if at least the PSP or cash pusher can be collecting waste from those rural settings to a certain location where we call transfer station. From there, waste management can be collecting it to go and dump in the dump site. Those are the plans we have on ground to implement to ensure that we cover the entire both urban and the rural community of the state.
Okay. Now on your job, you must have been having it very easy, I suppose. But what more would you like government to do to ensure that you have better service delivery?
Yes, all over the world, waste management business is highly capital intensive.
Yes.
So we want to sincerely appreciate Mr. Governor for his support in the past. Right. He has been so wonderfully supporting us, promoting city.
But don't tell me that your liver twist wants to ask for more.
Yes, that is why I have said it earlier, that waste management business is capital intensive. So no government cannot shy away from funding it. So we highly requesting from Mr. Governor to really fund us with funds so that we can get sophisticated equipment and manpower to ensure on those states.
I'm very sure that that is noted because I know that he's running a purposeful leadership in Ondo State. Thank you, Mr. Adekule, for honoring this invite. Thank you for coming and educating us on how to handle pollution in our environment. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying tuned. Till I come your way next week on this episode, on another episode of this program. Bye for now.